What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the basement. Today I'm just going to be going a little bit more in depth into the Kratky method system I have. So the Kratky method was invented by B.A. Kratky at the University of Hawaii. It's a passive hydroponic technique that grows plants suspended above nutrient-rich water. It's essentially deep water culture without a pump. Now the way it works is the plants send out roots in search of nutrients and oxygen. Before too long, the plants eat up all the oxygen that's held in the water. So they'll send out more roots and develop thicker root masses that in turn pull oxygen out of the air, allowing the plant to grow with no pump and in fairly compact spots. Here's a look at a more mature lettuce plant that's been going for a couple of weeks now. As you can see, the leaves are very big and well defined. If you look underneath, you can see how big that root mass is, and that's really what you want. This root mass allows the plant to draw tons of oxygen out of the air that it's not getting from the water. This eliminates the need for any air stones and makes this a super low cost, low maintenance system. The Kratky method is really only suited for plants with a fast growth rate, such as lettuce or spinach or other leafy greens and herbs. I've been told it doesn't really work well with plants like peppers or tomatoes, but I've also seen success stories. So I'm going to try that out a little bit in the future, and we're going to see how it goes. Alright, so at this point, we're going to start preparing our totes for plants. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to add our nutrients, wait for them to dissolve, we're going to check the pH and adjust that as needed, and then we're going to start adding the plant components. So I've got my nutrients all right here, ready to go. I've got the Master Blend tomato and vegetable formula. I use about 5 grams of this. I've got calcium nitrate. I use about 5 grams of that as well. And I have my magnesium sulfate. Now these don't have to be super precise, but you want them about as precise as you can get them. So I'll add all of this to about 2 to 2.5 gallons of water and then wait for them to dissolve. Alright, so we got our pH all balanced out. I got mine around 6.5 to 6.8. They don't all need to be exactly the same. Just make sure they're in the range of 6.5 to 7. So at this point, we're going to start adding the rest of the plant components. I've got my lids all pre-drilled and ready to go. I have some 3-inch size and some 2-inch size. So we're going to be using a variety of the 3-inch net pots and the 2-inch net pots. I prefer the 3-inch net pots, but these come in a big pack, I think around 50 to 100, so I'm using what I got. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to place those net cups inside the holes. They'll fit right in there without falling or moving too much at all. And then we're going to place one of these Oasis Horticubes in there. So these have a little hole up top for the seed, but other than that, they're completely solid. They are porous, however, and the plant roots grow through these like they're nothing. So we're going to place one of those inside that net pot, and then we're going to use a bunch of this hydroton to kind of stabilize it, and then this will also help the plant grow and develop structure as it ages. So I planted all the seeds off camera just because I'm sure it's super boring for you guys to sit there and watch me plant seeds. However, once you are done doing that, your net pot should look something like this. You have your hydroton surrounding that horticube just in a way that keeps it snug and secure so it's not bouncing all over the place if the water is to move. And if that water moves, you could potentially lose your seed. I had to learn that the hard way and I was really not happy. So I got all my seeds from Johnny's Selected Seeds. I've used True Leaf Market and High Mowing Seeds in the past. I have no issues with any of these companies. This time around I just decided to go with Johnny's. So I planted some Starfighter lettuce, Alkindus or Alkindus lettuce, New Red Fire, Muir, Little Gem, Truchas, Breen, and Sealand. So I just decided to experiment with these varieties this time around, see how they go. I also am going to spray paint 2 more containers later on today. I just didn't have the time yesterday and I dried them inside, so my bathroom was completely full of smelly spray painted plastic totes. So today it's a little bit warmer, we're gonna do that outside. Once I do that, I'm just gonna add 2 varieties of bok choy into that. The bok choy does really, really well in these systems. So you got your seeds planted and you're just about finished. Next up, you just wanna put them basically in a cool, dark place. I use my closet on a rack. Shut them up and leave them for about a week or so, and before you know it, you're gonna have these little tiny lettuce plants just sprouting right up, ready to go under the lights. So when it comes to lighting, you really don't need anything super impressive or powerful. Over here, I have the Active Grow LEDs. They're just the 22 watts. I have the Sunlight Pro, as well as the Red Bloom Spectrum. I really haven't noticed the difference between the two. I know that the Red Bloom is more so for flowering and vegetative stages. However, they both perform about the same. And over here, I just got these lights a couple of days ago, maybe about 5 or 6 days ago. Finally got them set up. This is going to be what I'm going to use to grow full-size lettuce heads, larger bok choy, as well as start some seeds inside, such as tomatoes, cucumber, zucchini, all that fun stuff. And these are the Active Grow LEDs as well. This is the Sunlight Spectrum. They're a little bit on the higher end side, however they will give you about a 4x4 grow area each. So if you were to combine these two, you could have a pretty impressive garden just in a small corner of the room. So just a little look at what we had going before. Up here I got some bok choy, and you can see that's getting pretty dense. It's going to be ready to harvest in just a little bit. Down here there's just a little bit more bok choy and some lettuce. And then down here, a little bit more lettuce. So most of this will be ready to harvest in just a few weeks, with the others following shortly behind. And over here is just the lettuce I showed you a little bit earlier. As you can see, this is the oldest and most healthy lettuce. It's just been going for a couple of weeks longer than the rest. I forgot to put a date on that, so I'm not sure how old it is. So overall, I'm super satisfied with how this system's worked out for me. I always have fresh vegetables ready, and I really don't have to do anything at all to these systems. I replace this water nutrient solution maybe once every 2 to 3 months, depending on the plant that I'm growing and its life cycle, as well as how large I'm growing the plant. I have my lights on a timer now, so I really don't even have to come in and flip the lights on. I come in about 2 to 3 times a day just to check on things, make sure everything's running smoothly. However, this is a super low cost, low maintenance system for people who are super busy. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I don't do this for money. I really only do it to experiment with hydroponics in my basement, and it's been really cool so far. This has been an awesome experience for me, and I love having fresh food available. My friends are also super impressed when they come over and see all this. They want to take home as much lettuce as they possibly can. So hopefully you're able to apply this in your life, or otherwise just learn a new skill. Maybe you can pass it on to somebody else. But I do thank you for watching.